Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Match Ball Podcast, the place where we talk all things wrestling, past and present. Today, we're getting on our part 2 of our Survivor Series, and where we're going to be ranking and reviewing certain Survivor Series matches that we all bring to the table. If you like what you see, give us a like and subscribe, comment below. Let us know how we're very wrong about everything. I'm the host,
especially Liam.
Especially Liam. Liam's usually wrong.
Usually. It's fine.
So
You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong.
Even when it's always wrong. I'm your host, Stephen, today. Joining me up there, top left on the casting couch is Alex.
Hi. We'll keep it PG for the kids.
Hide it. Got the hair hidden today is Liam.
Hello.
And we've got that bottom up look at Jonny.
Hey, what's going on?
There we go. Ainsley can't be with us today because he's unwell, but we have his rankings. Don't you worry. I can see you're all worrying.
Yeah, he's sick.
We've already podcast. No, yeah, after one time. We've got his rankings.
Turns up once and then just
turns up, Rex and leaves.
It's like Brock Lesnar, isn't it?
Like Roman
yeah,
Reigns.
Rex everybody and leaves.
And goals.
Dominates the quiz.
Yeah, I know that quiz performance was ridiculous. He must have been cheap. He
slanders Cesaro.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Disappears. Cheeky bugger.
Anyway, the first match we're going to look at today is Survivor Series 2000. We have Edge, Christian, Bull Buchanan, and The Godfather, accompanied by Val Venus, versus Matt, Jeff Hardy, Bubba Ray, and Devon Dudley. Who was it that brought this one to the table?
Me. Yeah.
Oh, this is Johnny's.
Great pick.
If you say so.
Thanks, Jonny.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Right. Again, like last time, I'll just go through, see what happened. We'll see what happened in the match. It's King and JR on commentary, which seemed a bit standard at this time. I didn't have as much issues with commentary as usual. I usually complain a lot. Yeah, well, it's just King, innit? That's the way he is.
Yeah.
So, first out, Edge and Christian, and then we have the WWF Tag Team Champ. Was FRE at this time? I don't know. I've put F.
It was F.
Tag Team
Still
Champs. Bull Buchanan, the Godfather at this time, accompanied by Val Venus. My lads, get to hear this beautiful intro music again. Every time we watch one of these and we get to see these guys, it really makes me feel alive. The opponents.
Somebody has to like them.
I just like the music. Nah, yeah, they're good wrestlers. There are good wrestlers in there. Good mid tier. I'm not saying for this match, Liam. You look at the whole history of The Godfather. Nah, you get out, Liam. You're not welcome here anymore. It's against the Hardy Boys, who popped up a lot of times during our retro reviews. We seem to pick the Hardy Boys a lot. I've seen more Hardy Boys matches in the last few months than ever.
I like watching Matt and Jeff though, and especially like classic Matt and Jeff. It's really good to watch. And
they are accompanied by the Dudley Boys. So that's the match, and this is how it goes. We start with Bubba Ray versus Bull. The crowd already want tables.
17 seconds into the match.
Yep, it's about some.
Yeah.
If that.
Standard for a Dudley Boys match, though, isn't it?
Like, we want tables. You'll get them. Chill out.
100%.
Bull gets the better to start with. Starts beating down Bubba in the corner. Some a bit of stiff shots maybe, or just good selling. Because Bubba said some naughty words. Then I
really enjoyed Bubba in this match.
I enjoyed Bubba in this.
Brilliant.
I really thought Bubba was fun in this match. Like he made what was otherwise a quite sort of bland match fairly interesting. Like I'll say it's bland because can somebody please explain to me the appeal of right to censor? I just don't get it.
They have annoying music.
Steven?
They have annoying music. And they don't.
The Godfather was a good lookalike for R. Kelly.
Oh, you can't say that. He really looks like the Godfather. That's who he looks like. I just
very similar to the Godfather.
I think at this point I kind of like them as a joke.
Ironically.
Yeah, ironically. But Bull Buchanan does some good stuff at times. And the Godfather does some good stuff. And you got Val Venus and Stephen Richards.
Yeah, but
They do some good stuff at times.
yeah, but so what if they do some good stuff?
I just kind of, I don't know.
I don't see the appeal.
Maybe it
Like, I'm
started ironic.
I was watching this and I'm seeing Right to Censor and I'm going,
I did. Yeah,
why?
it wasn't good here. It wasn't good here.
What is so
I
good
will
about
say,
them?
the Goodfather's DVD looks pretty bad compared to all the ones I've seen. Like when he's just there getting on the shoulders doing the Death Valley Drive, it looked really bad, like really sloppy. Didn't
I
look
thought you
like
meant,
I thought he was
I thought
talking
you
about
meant a
DVD as a DVD.
Yeah, like
I
an
did as
actual
well.
DVD.
I did as well. I was like, yeah, like
I
what's
was
he talking
I
about?
hadn't seen the
Is that
Godfather
DVD?
DVD.
And then you
I've
said
seen
Death
the
Valley
Secret
Drive.
one and the Edge one, but I hadn't seen
see
the
the people I'm
Godfathers.
working with. DVD.
If Ainsley was here, this wouldn't happen. So, Bubba blasts out the corner. Gets some Dudley teamwork. Devon starts to get on top. More back and forth.
I think Devon looked really strong in this match. Like even though when he was on his own in the ring against all the other people, all of his moves were solid, on point, really flowing. I think he was really good.
It's the Reverend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Reverend Devon.
The Goodfather comes in. Teams are starting to get a bit of teamwork going together. So we're getting the Dudley's team in. Right to Censor doing a few team moves and stuff. So Christian finally gets the hot tag and goes at it with Devon. It wasn't a hot tag. I didn't write hot tag. I don't know why I said hot tag. It's just a basic tag.
It's because Christian was hot at this time. That's
yeah, Christian was hot. I like Christian.
Christian and Edge were hot because that was their gimmick, that they were attractive people. So every tag was a hot tag with those two. That's what we're gonna say.
That sounds good.
The inspiration for fan Breezango.
I mean, come on, how can you not be attracted to those massive insect-looking sunglasses that they would wear?
Beautiful.
Like,
Beautiful things.
Made them look like Edna Mode.
I think I was really bored when I was writing the script for this match because I've not wrote much. I've just kind of like, this happened, tag happened. And here, as you can see, I put more stuff happens. So that was a sentence. More stuff happens.
Match happened at this Survivor Series.
Then Matt came in and it all kicked off. It all, the usual Survivor Series bit.
You're bored when you put it as kicked off.
I think I put that for all the matches. That's the point. When everyone gets involved, I'm like, it all kicks off. Hardly's
you just get JR's like iconic call of like, it's all broken down.
Yeah. So the Hardys and Dudleys, they do a quadruple DDT to Christian and Right to Censor, and the Hardys take their tops off to reveal they're wearing Dudley camo. Ooh, friends now. Ooh, camo friends. Ooh, friend. That's what I wrote.
All of 2 seconds.
Yeah, and they whipped it off.
Yeah.
And then King made a misogynistic comment about Lita.
Where's your surprise?
I mean, yeah, it's King.
In true King fashion.
King.
So at this point, Val Venus ruins the party, and Edge hits Matt with an Edge-o-matic for the elimination in 3 minutes and 59 seconds to make it 4 versus 3.
Was this the first time that he'd used the Edge-o-matic? Because they made a massive deal about it.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, that was the point where King got on my nerves.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to know the name of it, did they?
He was like, do you know what that's called, JR? Do you know what that's called? And I was expecting it to be like, well, I knew it was called the Edge-o-matic, but I was expecting him to like explain some sort of pun. And I was like, I don't understand what's funny about it being. Is there a pun to the Edge-o-matic?
No.
Like, is it a pun
No.
name, or is it just an interesting?
I think they were just trying to make it funny because it had the word edge in it.
Oh right, okay.
Edge-o-matic.
That's
Ooh.
really pathetic. Then when he's got one called the Educator, which is so much better. It's
They have
amazing.
execution as well.
And he's got the Execution as well, yeah. Because I was like, okay, the Execution is a pun. The Educator is a pun. The Edge-o-matic has just got his name in. But they were proper hyping it up like it was the most hilarious thing in the world. And I was like, can you please explain the joke to me, King? Because I'm clearly too young for this.
You're too young, just for anything.
I'm not like 65 like King is, so I don't know what it means.
So,
Bless.
Jeff,
You're looking forward to your 13th birthday next week.
Yeah, I am.
What's
Hopefully
that?
my voice drops.
Just gonna. Right. Jeff then decides to come in. He's like, I'm going to go next. He starts going out with Edge and Devon. Devon gets a tag. He takes out Edge. Bull gets a cheap shot on Devon. And Christian hits the... this is the kill switch?
Called the Unprettier at this point.
Unprettier, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one. For the elimination in 5... I couldn't be bothered researching. Not for this match. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to make it 4 versus 2.
So professional. When did Matt get eliminated?
First by the Edge of
Like
Matt.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Because I feel like I blinked, and then all of a sudden Matt Hardy wasn't in the match anymore, and I was like, okay, that's happened?
It was the whole Dean Ambrose situation again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Bubba gets angry now and works as a good team with Jeff for a bit against Christian. They're like, ooh, friends now, camo friends.
Come on, friend.
The crowd decides this is at the time that they want tables again with all the action going on. Bull comes in again. Ooh, he does some lovely strongman stuff. Picks him up. Ooh, all that. He seems like you're all enjoying this as much as me.
I can't take you seriously when you like trying to put over Bull Buchanan. I just can't do it.
Why? Bull Buchanan's men.
Because I just
He's trying to put him over with the least amount of enthusiasm ever.
Yeah, I just can't. Ooh, I don't have any enthusiasm for this.
Ooh, and he's doing some strongman stuff. Ooh, and then he lifts him. Ooh.
Goes like this.
Oh.
And then he goes like this.
And he goes like this. Ooh. All it reminds me of, right? The only thing I can think about when I think of Bull Buchanan is his really bad gimmick that he has as John Cena's enforcer when they call him B squared. And he comes out in the fishing
B squared,
cap
the lad.
and the tank top.
He's a
And
lad.
was just like, oh, Bull Buchanan. B squared. That was my first introduction to Bull Buchanan.
And-
Cena's enforcer.
And you've loved him ever since.
And I've...
Your
And
favourite
I can't
His
understand.
third favorite wrestler.
I can't understand the hype around him from in Right to Censor because all I know him as is B squared.
Well, now you've seen a lot of right to censor matches. So Bubba then decides he's going to take out the whole team. He can do this himself. I don't need no team. I'm Bubba Ray. So he dodges the spear, which takes out Bull, and Bubba socks him and eliminates Bull in 7 minutes and 32 seconds to make it 3 versus 2.
Yeah.
So we're getting one back. You all have a
So I'm
lot.
so excited.
I guess we're just kind of waiting for the next match for you all to start talking, aren't we?
No, I've got
much,
stuff
yeah.
to say at the end.
We go to the end.
Get my points.
Because
Yeah.
I know Liam's got stuff to say. He's already built this up.
No, I kind of said my piece now. It was more to do with
The
like
right to censor
why
stuff.
on earth is Right to Censor like I've got any appeal whatsoever because I just don't understand it.
So Bubba then hits Edge with a full Nelson bomb and dodges a splash from Christian, which hits Edge, and then Bubba pins him for the elimination in 8 minutes and 6 seconds to make it 2 versus 2. Now we've got Jeff and Bubba versus Goodfather and Christian.
I will say I loved the entire bit with Bubba as well, when like
He starts
kept
taking him
dodging out of the way of people's moves and
Yeah,
Yeah, that
making
was
them
really
hit each
good.
other. I thought of it really well.
Yeah,
Like,
I
really
did.
good.
I did enjoy the creativity of using their finishes against each other, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I liked that. That was really
Yeah.
good. It was
I didn't
nice.
mind the. I didn't mind the quadruple DDT
I liked
thing.
that. That
either.
was kind of fun for what it was.
Yeah.
Just kind of at the time. And then we got,
Yeah.
ooh, camo friends. So,
You're really
Come
selling that
on,
point, aren't you?
yeah,
Jeff's,
camo
um,
friends.
Jeff's thingy-majiggies as well. They were camo, weren't they?
Yeah, all camo.
Yeah, and then they whipped it off again. So it was, they were back in their skins, and it was like, oh, never mind.
Oh, nobody cares anymore. Goodfather then stops a full Nelson bomb, but Bubba punches him. And after a bit of awkwardness, I can't remember what the awkwardness was, can you? And then I put Goodfather eliminates Bubba with a Death Valley driver to make it 2 versus 1 in 8 minutes and 40 seconds.
No, I don't remember.
I
What the
think when he
awkwardness
picked him
was.
up
No, I
into it, there was a bit of awkward. I don't know. I wrote it. So
There was a
I think
bit.
it was one of the reverse. I think one of the
Have we-
reversals
Yeah.
went a bit dodgy.
Have we
and
have we
it
gone
Yeah.
past the
looked really-
bit where? Sorry, Johnny.
It's alright, go on.
I really got things I want to say.
We'll say it.
Have we gone past the bit where Jeff does like a springboard backflip?
Oh yeah.
That was
I
so
like that bit.
cool. I love. I was like, oh, Jeff Hardy! Oh my god! And then I spent the rest of the match going, I wonder what they would call it if they combined the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Would they call them the Hardley Boys?
No, because you got to add that Z
Oh,
on the end.
The Hardly Boys.
Oh yeah, because you're not changing boys. Oh, for God's sake.
The boys.
Boy.
Right then. So Christian and Goodfather start double teaming Jeff. Jeff accidentally knocks Goodfather off the apron and dodges Christian. He then hits a swanton bomb for the 3 count in 9 minutes and 39 seconds to make it Jeff versus the Goodfather. Yes.
That was a really short distance swanton as well.
I know, yeah.
It was like practically
it was,
next
wasn't
to
it?
the fucking.
Really missed him,
road.
didn't
He
he?
had to get some weird distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
The Goodfather's train looked. I was sad that he missed that.
Yeah, that's what we're coming on to next.
I really wanted to see that.
Yeah, so Jeff dodges Goodfather's train. It's
Yeah.
it's not the whole train here, is it? It's just train.
No, it's just the train.
The train. They could have come up with
So
something a
he'd
bit
have
more
to censor
offensive.
himself, wouldn't he?
The sensor train.
Yeah.
Train.
Sensor train. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Val Venus, he also dodges Val Venus' clothesline, which then inadvertently hits the Goodfather. Jeff takes advantage with a pin for the win in 10 minutes and 5 seconds.
The thing with Val Venus's clothesline looks
Yeah.
really confusing. Because I had to go back and watch it about 3 times to understand what had happened.
I kind of wrote that. That's what I thought happened. I was a little bit confused, and I was like, I'm not going to rewind this. I'm just going to go on to the next match.
Because Val like runs across the edge of the apron and then like tries to hit Jeff and then ends up hitting Goodfather. And I was just like, I just couldn't work out what was going on because it still looks like he clips Jeff like in the back of the head. And I was just like, when I first watched it, I thought, oh, Jeff's been hit by Val. And then it was like the Goodfather goes down and I was like, what's going on? And then second time I watched it, I noticed that it like clips the back of his head and then hits. I don't know. It just looked pretty bad.
So then after the match, Right Sensor come down, take out Jeff. Steven Richards comes down, the legend. Val hits him with the money shot. So he was still allowed to call his the money shot, but Goodfather wasn't allowed to call his the whole train. Dudley's come down to save Jeff. Hardys and Dudleys get the upper hand, beat him up. Tables finally come out. The crowd's happy. Everyone leaves with a big smile on their faces.
I tell you what, that table section afterwards, the one that Matt did, is the smoothest transition of putting somebody through the table and just landing stood up like nothing happened.
Yeah, that's seated
that I've ever seen. It was just really smooth. He just kind of like jumps, drops him through the table, and just goes ta-da.
Yeah, I guess that's it. What were your thoughts on the match, everyone? What did you think?
Well, for me, the reason I picked this on a whim for the most part, just because I saw Dudley Boyz, Edge Christian, Hardys, and Right Sensor were there for you, Steve.
Thanks, mate.
You know, but to mirror a point in last week's video, for me, this was a great feel-good match. I saw all the spots I wanted to see. I'm a massive Dudley Boyz fan, so as soon as he got the tables out afterwards, I went crazy. I saw all the Swanton, Jeff's little flip thing over the ropes, which Liam pointed out, which is really good. I liked the elimination, like 2-on-4, and then like making it balanced 2-on-2, 1-on-1. I like that kind of more balanced side of a Survivor Series match. I loved it.
So my main issue with this is we've watched the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian on reviews before, and this was so far away from those matches.
Yeah.
This was like not even close to what any of those matches were.
It wasn't good in like a tier sense. Like it wasn't one of the best appearances of all time.
Yeah.
But it's a feel-good one.
For me,
at least.
Yeah, for me, I was just kind of bored. I did like we got the tables and I like we got some spots, but I just felt bored. Personally, maybe it's just me. I don't know. What do you two think?
Go on now.
Yeah, I don't think the spots can redeem it, to be honest. to say that I enjoyed what was actually inside the actual match parameters, bell to bell.
That's a fair
I
point.
enjoyed a quadruple DDT and people using their own finishes against each other on the same team. And then after the match, yeah, that whole section was really enjoyable, but I don't class that as the match, if that makes sense.
Fair point.
Yeah. So, but in a bell to bell essence, yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. Like, if to pick out two things out of a whole 10 minutes, no.
Go on then, Liam. How about it? You free. You have the room.
I have the room. Okay, so this match was incredibly well structured. To take Johnny's point, where he said like you enjoy when it's even Stevens for both teams.
That's my name.
Like, I like that. You know, when it's like 4-on-4, 3-on-3, 2-on-2, and it sort of goes down evenly like that. Because it creates more of a sense of drama. Like, I don't feel like we'll take the Roman Reigns example last week of him going 5-on-1 and overcoming the odds. It's just like, it's not believable. Whereas if they whittle them down sort of evenly, it feels a bit more believable that way. But then to sort of parrot what Al said about it being like literally 2 spots that were entertaining. Well, 3 spots actually, because there was the Jeff thing as well with the springboard. But everything else was just like, it's just stuff that happened in the match. Like, I don't know. I think if I was more into right to censor, maybe I would have enjoyed this more. Because a lot of the shenanigans were to do with right to censor. So it felt a lot like it was sort of their story being told, and everyone else was just sort of along for the ride, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I feel like it could have been better.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with that.
Well, our first section that we get into after we review is who was our match MVP.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna straight out there throw there Bubba Ray.
I was thinking Bubba.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Bubba actually.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Yeah,
matter who you think.
I would say Bubba.
Bubba Ray Dudley. That is our
Unanimous.
match. The official
Yeah.
match
Man
MVP.
of the match.
Again,
Bubba had some awesome spots. That spot where Bubba just cleaned house on the 4 of them. And he did, what did he do? Scoop slam, sidewalk slam.
One side of the rope on it.
He did a scoop slam, a sidewalk slam, and then he did a back body drop, and something else that he did, and then he clotheslined someone over the ropes, and I was like, oh, Bubba, you're so good.
So yeah, our next section is Rank That Survivor Series match. Currently we have in first place Rey Mysterio, The Usos, Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus the Real Americans and The Shield from Survivor Series 2013. And here we go. In second, Matt and Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, Triple H, Shawn Michaels versus Mike Knox, Johnny Nitro, Gregory Helms, Edge and Randy Orton from Survivor Series 2006. Whew. Who thinks it was better than Survivor Series 2006? Put your hands up. Nobody thinks it's Survivor Series 2006. So come
That's
in.
a
Whilst I
solid
loved it.
place.
Whilst I loved it, I know it wasn't a great match. I'm not an
No.
idiot.
So coming in at third, the new rankings are Rey Mysterio, Usos, Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus the Real Americans and The Shield from Survivor Series 2013 in first. Oh, this is such a mouthful. Matt and Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus Mike Knox, Johnny Nitro, Gregory Helms, Edge and Randy Orton at second, and Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boy, Edge and Christian, Bull Buchanan, the Godfather versus the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys, Survivor Series 2000. Richard, you listening? Throw up a graphic to show everyone. There we go. Next, the real reason.
Wake him up again with a clap.
No.
Yeah, literally why I did it.
It's all right. We don't need to cut that out. Everyone could know that I asked for a graphic, and Richard,
Well, everybody knows that Richard edits the videos
Richard.
anyway.
Yeah.
give me a graphic. So the real reason, the real reason why we're here, is Survivor Series.
It's to talk bad about wrestling.
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
1,000.
To be honest, the real reason I'm here now is to hear you say all these back to back without messing it up on the very
Yeah.
final episode of these.
Just wait. When I've got 6 to go through.
Yeah.
You'd have
Wonder how many
to,
times
you'd have
you're
to
gonna
think of
mess
some
up the order.
abbreviations.
I know. I'm gonna have to. But no, I'm not. I'm gonna go through every single name every single time. And,
Team R, T, E, and C.
Okay, so now
And
versus
we'll,
the
we'll
Hartley
count how
Boys.
many takes it takes you.
the next match, Survivor Series
at the bottom.
2001, we have the Team Alliance, which is Shane McMahon, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle, and Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Team WWF, which is Big Show, Kane, The Undertaker, Chris Jericho, and The Rock. My God, the talent.
This
What a
match-
showcase match.
First thing
Yeah.
I wrote on my notes was all the big names.
Just all
Yeah.
of them.
I wrote, this match is stacked, and Shane is there as well.
So we get some pre-match on this one. JR and Paul Heyman on commentary. They're arguing throughout the whole match because the rival companies, and the one that loses goes out of business and loses the job. For the match, we see Vince looking at his superstars. The Rock is bouncing. Before they go out, he says he has to get some stuff off his chest. He has every confidence they'll win, but he realizes he could be looking at a group of losers. The Rock is still bouncing. Should they lose, there isn't one WF fan that'll forgive them. If they lose, they're personally and professionally disgraced. Basically, talking down to them, saying if they lose. And The Rock is still bouncing. Did you watch this bit, or did you just start the match?
I skipped this bit entirely.
I just
So-
watched the match.
So,
Yeah.
there's more to this. He carries on
I
talking.
mean, it's good to hear it then.
There's nothing else. Yeah. So he says that do it for the names that preceded them, because the spirit still lives on, like Buddy Rogers, Dr. Jerry Graham, Gorilla Monsoon, Andre the Giant, and then High Chief Peter Maivia gets in Rock's face about that. The Rock is still bouncing. He carries on talking, says, they go on about it. Basically, the segment lasted over 4 minutes. The Rock was bouncing up and down on the spot the entire time.
It's excited.
And how does he have any energy left after that? It was literally jump. That's so. Anyway,
Have you seen The Rock?
I know he's a beast. The match winner. I mean, I'd be knackered. I'd be on the floor crying. The match
Because
winner.
you're not The Rock.
No, no.
The man eats cardio for breakfast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The match is winner takes all. Whoever wins is the losing team's company are forced to disband. There's threats about maybe someone from the Alliance jumping to WWF, and they're a bit sus. Yeah, see that? Get modern
Modern
culture
terms.
in there. Yeah, look at me.
Blue sauce.
We also get shots.
I was in electric.
I was in the boiler room
I
with
saw Jericho
Mankind.
event.
So yeah, we get shots throughout the match. The first thing I'm going to say about this before we go on to it, every single match I've been whinging about the mean nothing. Like, what's the point of this? And this meant so much. This was one
This
of the
had like
most
the biggest thing behind it.
Yeah, this is like
Play
one of
devil's
the most
advocate, though.
important- Go on.
Play devil's advocate for what you've just said, though. If you didn't watch the backstage segment beforehand, you wouldn't have a clue what
I
was
feel
going
like
you
on.
would.
I feel like
would.
the commentator sold
Because
it throughout.
The
Yeah,
comment,
the commentators sold it.
the commentators sold
Especially Heyman.
really well that it was Alliance versus Team WWF. Okay,
Yeah.
but they didn't really mention what the stakes were for it. Like, there was no mention of
Heyman,
there was no mention of if Team Alliance wins, Team WWF are gone forever. They're gone. If Team WWF wins, the Alliance are gone forever. There wasn't really much mention of even, like, if you didn't watch it and you unless you were paying like super attention, you wouldn't have even known which side was Team WWF and which side was Team Alliance, because it wasn't mentioned on commentary.
Obviously, the Team Alliance had the WWF Championship, and Team WWF has the WCW Championship.
Exactly, because I was like, oh, wait, which side is the Alliance here? And then I had to I was proper listening to the commentary just to figure out that which side was which. So feel like if you don't watch the backstage segment beforehand, you kind of lose a little bit of the
Heyman did keep saying
storytelling.
Heyman did keep saying about how they were all about to be fired and stuff.
I thought it was the complete opposite. I thought it was drilled in a lot by Heyman.
Heyman kept saying about how they were all going to get fired and how this was it for WWF.
But I remember a bit with when Jericho and Taker later on, and when Taker ran out to get in his face. And it's like, I don't want to lose my job, and then it really drilled it.
But that was only really towards the end of the match. Like for the first 15 minutes, there wasn't really much mention of how high stakes it was.
That wasn't.
And then
that was during the second match, wasn't it? When we got that second where we got the Survivor Series match to start, and then we just got Stone Cold versus The Rock for basically a full match.
Fair enough.
Which I'm not complaining about.
No.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just completely wrong and an idiot. So please.
Sure, they'll let you know in the comments.
Comment below. Let
me know if I am just a complete an utter moron. But
we'll just hand it over to Reddit again, shall we?
No, because Reddit will call me a smooth brain, and then they'll find my house. I haven't got a smooth brain, okay? I've got wrinkles, I promise.
I don't believe you. So first out is the Alliance is the owner of WCW, Shane McMahon. He's got his music this time, unlike X7. So thankfully, I was happy about that.
Comes the money.
Here we go, money talks. So we got Oshuki. I wrote this so bad. I said second is Oshuki Quack Quack, the 5-time WCW champion Booker T. Next out is the Master of Weed, the WWF Hardcore champion Rob Van Dam. Paul tries to tell the ECW story of Rob Van Dam, but JR doesn't want to hear it. Fourth out is Kurt Angle, and he sucks. That's all I said about him. I didn't really have much to say. I just love Kurt Angle. Finally out is the WWF champion of the Alliance, Stone Cold Steve Austin, with some very different music.
Yeah, I was really shocked by that.
I was confused.
I heard the glass shatter, and I was all gonna get into it, and then all of a sudden it was like, what the?
It was just generic rock.
I didn't get that at all.
I don't remember him having this.
Is just when you touched on RVD being the Master of Weed, is it me or did Booker T look spaced out in this match?
Might have been.
Booker T always looked like that though in the early 2000s, didn't he? Just wide-eyed constantly.
He looked gone.
Probably was.
Yeah.
First out for
He was
team.
stood next to RVD for a while.
Oh yeah, so they were in the same locker. They were all in the Alliance locker room together with RVD. Weren't
Yeah.
They? So,
hot boxing it.
Hot boxing, yeah.
First out for team WWF is the Big Show. JR said he's got to be a big monster tonight, and that went well for him. Next out is the Big Red Machine, Kane. Third out is Undertaker, and we get Limp Bizkit once again. We keep rolling. He rides down to the ring and tries to run over the Alliance for the quick win, but everyone dodges.
Can you imagine if that's how it ended?
I know, just like Undertaker's just run them all over. That's it.
Quick, pin them.
Leave the bike on him and pin it.
Just roll them all into the ring and pin them.
I'm not going
to part of the match.
I'm not going to
count as a competitor.
I'm not going to say what I wrote for the next one. I'm just going to say out next is Y2J Chris Jericho.
Let's keep going. Tell us later.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. Lastly, we get the man himself, the leader of Team WWF, the WCW champion, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's probably some good story. There's probably some really good story that led up to this and everything.
Probably. But can you tell? Can you see why the synapses weren't firing when I was watching this match, trying to understand who's who? Because I'm like,
yeah,
WCW champion is the leader of Team WWF, and the WWF champion is the leader of Team WC. I'm so confused. I'm like, my brain is melting out my ears at this point. So you just don't figure out which team's which.
They don't fire on a smooth brain.
No, they don't.
So I've got a lot for this. I've wrote a lot for this. So I'm going to try and get through it.
I got an essay.
I'm going to try and get through it really quick, but still, don't feel like you can't interrupt me. Still interrupt me. Here we go. Plot time.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
We get started with a classic pairing of Rock and Austin. They go back and forth with some signature moves. The Rock uses Austin's Des press and elbow until Shane comes in for the cheap shot on the Rock. Austin then tags in Booker. He goes out with the Rock. Shane keeps stopping all the pin attempts. I love that. I love that. He was like, no, he's going to
the pin dive out.
Like, no, I'm going to get. He's coming up and some point.
Shane was literally just taking the Rock's advice of know your role to the maximum and just being like, right, I know my role. My role is not as a wrestler. It's as a nuisance.
Yeah, and he did that so well.
The one I enjoyed the most was when he did it, but he ended up on the wrong side of the ring.
To run around.
And it took him a minute to realise, and he was like, oh no.
Yeah, that was Taker, wasn't it? He broke up Taker's, and then Taker was looking at him, and he was like, no. Rock tags in Jericho. We go through all the competitors one at a time here. Everyone's getting a little moment at the beginning of the match to get the crowd really worked up and lively and going. So RVD is in next, goes out with Jericho for a while.
How good did these two look?
Oh, so good together. These were all the
really
flipping over the backs and the oh, it was so nice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I thought looked good. Kane.
Yeah.
It's so quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's so fast and
Kane could go in this match.
Yeah, back in the day, Kane could go.
Yeah.
Rock
I'm just so sad. Sorry, I'm so sad that I never got to see RVD in his prime, like back in the day.
Maybe we'll do
like happening live, watching RVD live in his prime. Oh, I'm so sad I missed that.
Would have been something special.
Watching it back, it's just so good.
Hey, he might be going to AEW now.
I know, but he's
not in his prime now, is he?
Not in his prime, is he? It's
like
nearly 50 years old.
Yeah, he can still go, but not in the same way. So Jericho,
it's not quite the same.
Jericho gets RVD in the walls, but Shane comes in and stops that again. The WWF team are getting really annoyed with Shane at this point. The Rock keeps trying to get in and get him, but Earl Hebner's not allowing it. So Kane tags in. Kurt wants some of it. So Kurt does a lovely belly to back suplex to Kane. Some really just obviously Kurt Angle amazing stuff. Kane keeps getting the better of him though, and does a lovely top rope clothesline where he jumps nearly half the ring to get him. He tries to pin, but Shane once again stops it. The Rock is about to murder.
Breaker of pin.
Yeah, I wrote The Rock is about to murder Shane. So it's Taker's turn now. Shane once again stops Taker from beating a Booker, but this is the bit where Shane was on the wrong side of the ring and he had to run away. The crowd chant Shane's a P word. Alex won't let me say the word pussy cat.
Wow.
Yeah, I asked Alex. Wow. I asked Alex if I could say that word, but he said no. So
caught that.
The word pussy cat.
Yeah.
He can't say, but Shane is one of them. Taker gets the pin again, but Shane comes back. He runs away and causes a distraction, which allows Austin to get the better of Taker. Shane and Big Show are the only ones that haven't been in the match yet. We go old school. The ref is closely watching Shane at the moment, but as soon as the ref turns to count the pin, Shane comes in again, and the Alliance start assaulting Undertaker. Taker gets the
it's when they're ganging him in the corner.
Yeah, this is the ganging him in the corner, and Earl stopping the WWF competitors from getting in the ring, but they're taking advantage of that.
Because this is where he tagged Booker T in. Kurt Angle was in the ring kicking him in the corner and didn't take any notice that Booker T had just been tagged in, but stayed in the ring anyway. And then Booker T ended up getting out. And I was like, is that just irrelevant now?
The whole match is void.
Yeah.
The Alliance, yeah. So Taker gets the tag on Show, and Show comes in to wreck everyone and leave. How long until he turns heel?
Hang on. Right. How big was Big Show's pop?
Oh my god!
I'll say he got really good reactions in it.
Yeah, he got such a big pop.
Immense pop. I was like, wow.
So then
back in the day, Big Show was over.
Yeah, he was all over. He could move. He was good. He could move.
He was
strong.
Yeah, he was
over
7 foot. As well.
Yeah,
he could 7'2", 500 pounds.
Yeah. So I put here how long till Show turns heel? As we know, he has a rate of heel turn 3 times a match. But he didn't. I thought he would be the one that the oh no, it's the Alliance. It don't matter. Angle hits the Angle Slam on show, which was really pretty. The way he lifted him up, wow! Angle was something else, wasn't it?
He's got it all, that man, hasn't he?
Yeah,
The full package.
really is. And to pick it up
with a broken neck.
Yeah.
To pick it up as quick as he did as well. He hadn't really been wrestling for that long, and
No.
yeah,
It's just a shame
Only a
that he
few years or
couldn't.
something like that.
yeah, only a few years at this point.
It's just a shame he couldn't get a handle of his own personal demons, isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
'Cause he could have been much bigger than he was.
oh yeah, massively. After the Angle Slam, Booker hits the scissor kick, RVD hits the 5-star frog splash, and Shane finally gets in the match, hits an elbow drop for the elimination in. I didn't put the times on it. I've just put elimination in add time here to make it 5 vs 4.
Professional.
The elimination was in 12 minutes and 42 seconds, so we got a decent amount of time for that one. It's a good job I had a backup. So he dances. The Rock comes in.
You just know that Rich is going to beat you to it on that one and just ping it up before you.
There's going to be some fun editing things there. Richard, do that. So Shane does a fun little dance. I like it when he puts in like the pictures of what's happening and stuff. I hope he does that in this one. So as Shane do a little dance, there you go. He put a picture of Shane up there.
I will say as well that bit where the eliminated show when they all did the finishes on him.
Yeah.
Especially since like that's the first time I saw it in a while, especially the long string of finishes just to eliminate one dude.
It's nice, isn't it?
I thought it was really nice.
It's much better
anyway.
It's much better in a Survivor Series match. You see it a lot in Royal Rumbles, and then and then you just kind of stand there groggy like that. But in a Survivor Series match, it's so good.
Also,
unless it's Nia Jax.
Yeah, I'm talking about Nia Jax. Yeah, you just kind of like a Mortal Kombat character when it's on the finish him, and just
finish him.
Yeah,
and then they throw him over.
Watching Big Show take down the straps was really fun to watch as well. I was like, oh, he's being like Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle 2.0. So Shane does a fun little dance for a bit, and then he's realizing, oh no, The Rock's in the ring. So he's not happy about that. And The Rock finally gets his hands on Shane to the joy of the crowd. The crowd loved that. Rock tags in Kane. He wants to see a chokeslam, so Kane hits the chokeslam. He decided it's Taker's time, so Taker hits him with a tombstone. And then he tags in Jericho, who hits a lion salt. So Shane well and truly got his comeuppance there. So Shane gets pinned and makes it 4 vs 4, and the time on that one was 14 minutes and 30 seconds.
That was such a clean lion salt as well.
Oh, he was so good at this one.
Did he hit 2 in this match? And both of them looked so clean. Yeah,
they were really on point. Like, yeah.
Oh, did you also catch after Shane gets eliminated, the ref just drags him out of the ring?
There's some good selling that. There's some really good selling, because then you saw him being carried out later, didn't you? Like being carried off, and he's just like proper out of it.
I like the fact that the Undertaker needed to remind us that old school was a move each time.
Old school
as well.
Old school.
Old school again.
I know there was a bit. I think the second time he did it, he like panned the camera out a bit, and it went to you saw Jericho just like
proper marking out.
Proper going for it.
I love that. So Kurt and Jericho go at it. Now Shane has gone. It seems like it's Austin's job to break up pins. Shane gets us scouted out because he's basically dead at this point after everything he's been through. Y2J and RVD go out with some pretty acrobatics and some really cool spots until Kane decides it's his turn to beat up on RVD. Booker tries to get in the cheap shot, but Kane brings him in to beat him up. However, RVD saw this coming and goes to the frog splash on Kane. Kane counters, grabs RVD by the throat, and it all breaks down. Everyone's fighting now. It's all kicked off. The usual spot. You know the kickoff.
All kicked off.
While everyone's outside distracted, RVD hits Kane with a... Does this move have a name? I just put single-legged drop kick to the face.
It's a missile drop kick, isn't it?
Missile drop kick. That's with two legs, isn't it?
Single-legged.
This was
single-legged missile drop kick.
And he gets the elimination while everyone's distracted in 18 minutes and 56 seconds. This makes it 4 vs 3 in favour of the Alliance.
I also think that elimination was kind of like panned away from...
Because all the stuff going on.
You kind of saw it at the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
Well, then you saw all the stuff going on the outside. It was a bit distracted.
Yeah, it was one of... So Taker's trying to fight the whole alliance alone now as the WWF team are out of the ring hurt. Taker hits everyone with a clothesline, he hits the snake eyes and the the usual moves, clears the ring. He goes for the last ride on Angle, but after a Booker distraction with... this was the bit with the chair, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where he came in with the
brought in
chair. And then Austin hit Taker with a stunner, drags Angle over to get the elimination in 20 minutes and 3 seconds. So we're getting a string of quick eliminations here, which makes it 4 versus 2 in favour of the Alliance. So Rock's back up now. So him and Booker start going at it, but with overwhelming odds, Rocky struggles to get a pin as the Alliance keep breaking it up. He tried a couple times, but yeah, they kept breaking it up. The Rock distracts the Alliance by throwing Booker into Angle. He then rolls up Booker and gets the 3 for the elimination in 22 minutes and 33 seconds.
Do you not think that Booker T and The Rock had really similar in-ring energy during that confrontation? I was watching Booker going, oh my god, his mannerisms are a lot like The Rock's when he's in the ring. Or The Rock's are a lot like Booker's when they're in the ring.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
The sort of over-exaggerated, very animated, facial storytelling sort of things. And
I can see what you mean.
Booker uses his hands a lot and The Rock uses his hands a lot to sell stuff. And I was just oh, they've got very I don't know. And they're also the finishes are the same.
The bookend and the rock bottom. Yeah.
They're exactly the same. But yeah, I was just I just felt like it was very similar. And then after he did you notice that when The Rock tried to pin Booker the first time, he grabbed him and he lifted up his right shoulder?
Yeah,
and when he eventually pinned him anyway, his shoulder was up.
I was like, stop counting, ref, the shoulder's up. Do your job. You're supposed to check the shoulders. But yeah, and then Steph's reaction to the roll-up was just everyone's mood in current WWE, the IWC's mood watching a roll-up. Because it's just another roll-up.
Didn't Steph even say that his shoulder was up, though? That was her reaction.
I think so, yeah. That's kind of, yeah. Anyway, that brings it to 3-2, but it's still in favour of the Alliance. RVD is up next to take on Rocket. The Rock hits a top turnbuckle powerbomb while RVD is up there trying to do some moves. Gets a close 2 count, and then he gets a tag on Y2J. Y2J misses the lion salt. RVD hits a spinning heel kick. He then goes for a split-legged moonsault, but Jericho gets his knees up and hits the breakdown, or as we call it these days, the skull-crushing finale, for the elimination in 25 minutes and 40.
How bad did
seconds.
that skull-crushing finale look?
The breakdown. Yeah, it wasn't very smooth. The Miz does it a lot better.
Yeah.
Was this at the point where he's kind of trialing it as a finisher?
Yeah, this is. I think so. I'm pretty sure it was.
I know he had it for a little while as a finisher, and kind of quickly got rid of it.
Yeah,
he was using the lion salt and the walls as his finishers, wasn't he? So I think he was trying to find something that was a bit
quick impact,
easier to maneuver.
Yeah, he got to the code breaker in the end, but we had a few missteps.
It took him 6 years.
Yeah. So this makes it 2 each. So we've got Rock and Jericho versus Austin and Angle. My God, those 4 names. He just still keeps going. It still keeps amazing me the amount of the people in this match. So all 4 men go at it. Rock and Austin outside the ring, Jericho and Angle inside. Austin takes out the Rock in the ring using the ring post, and we have a temporary 2 versus 1 kind of thing going on. Jericho gets Angle in the ankle lock, but Kurt gets out and hits him with a crazy hard clothesline. It looks so stiff.
It looked brutal.
Yeah, it was nice. Kurt Angle, incredible. Austin gets in the ring, and I put here, Austin gets in the ring and does what he's great at, but maybe didn't get the credit for throughout his career, being an amazing technician in the ring and just really controlling the flow of the match and some great suplexes and stuff like that, and just what a great technician. Everyone always thinks of him a brawler, but then when you see these big matches,
the hit was really good. Not the Avalanche, the Superplex.
Superplex.
Yeah, the Superplex they did. Yeah, so good.
Some good technical wrestling in this match. Like
Really was.
even the Undertaker.
Mm.
Taker had some pretty good technical wrestling as well. With the what's it called? Is it a Hungarian knuckle lock or something like that? It's a knuckle lock anyway.
Oh, when
Yeah.
it's
and he constantly
on
had the
Book-
knuckle
when he's on
lock in the
Booker.
whole
Yeah.
time.
We got such a range of styles, but all the people were like at the top of the game in these styles.
it's a very
this time.
prime era for them, for all them wrestlers, I think.
We got some amazing high impact, with the stuff with Jericho, RVD. You got some amazing big man stuff with Kane and that.
Are we
and
still
then
in the
got some
Attitude
great tech.
Era?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
near
well, that's
towards the end.
that just says it all, doesn't it? Like,
We look at it with rose tinted glasses sometimes. There was some bad in the Attitude Era, but then you see stuff like this, and it's incredible. And WrestleMania X7 and all that. Anyway, where were we? The team slowly starts picking apart Jericho. Some really good teamwork here between Austin and Angle, keeping him in the corner, doing some. I mean, exactly, great tag team wrestling as well in this match. It had everything. Jericho fights back, and him and Austin take each other out with a double clothesline. Ref starts to count, but both men tag in their partners, and the Rock's back in the match. Rock quickly gets Angle into the sharpshooter, and he taps out for the elimination in 32 minutes and 22 seconds. Which
I thought that
makes
was a
it 2-1.
really quick tap out as well.
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't
didn't
in
like
that.
that.
It wasn't in that for long.
No, it could have been longer, but yeah.
I didn't like the fact that they made Angle tap either. I don't think Kurt Angle should be tapping. Personally.
Not that quickly either.
No,
No.
not that quickly. And not to the Rock's terrible sharpshooter either.
or as Bret Hart called it, Rock's twisty leg thing.
Yeah, the Rock's twisty like it looks so bad.
He's not the best at that, is he? Bless him.
No, it's
good.
really not.
Rock's got all the charisma in the world that makes up for it all, though.
Yeah.
sorry with it.
Austin then hits the Rock with a cheap shot, pushes over the ref, and Jericho tags himself in. Jericho goes for the lion salt, but Austin gets his knees up and nearly gets a 3. Jericho tries to roll up Austin, but it's reversed, and Austin eliminates Jericho in 34 minutes and 50 seconds. And now we have the Austin versus the Rock, and we have another. This is the start of a full match now. Between
This was a good match.
We get another Austin. We could rank them separately, but they're both right up there. Okay, so Jericho doesn't leave the ring, but Austin and Rock go at it. However, Jericho then grabs the Rock and hits him with a breakdown and turns on WWF because he wants his job. Thought the Alliance member was going to be the one to turn, but it was actually Jericho in the end as he hates the Rock. The Rock kicks out though because this is what the Rock does. He just kicks out of everything constantly. 100 finishes, and he can keep kicking out.
Oversells, but he'll kick out.
Yeah, exactly. But it's enjoyable the way he does it.
Oh yeah.
If it was anyone else, but because the way he
tone it down. Come on, yeah.
But it's the Rock. Jericho starts heading back to the ring, but Taker comes out and stops him. Austin is currently on top. He starts stomping on the Rock. He chucks him out the ring. Take a pretty hard spill. Looks like he hurt his knee there. Could have been bad.
Yeah, but he brought that on himself by overselling.
What's the Rock?
I was like, I got no sympathy for you because you did that by yourself. Like, that wasn't Austin throwing you out the ring. That was you deciding to do flips. Like...
It was, yeah. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'll go 3 flips. And then... so they go back and forth outside the ring using the turnbuckle and other scenery I've put. I'm guessing I meant steel, like the steps and stuff. No matter what the Rock does, Austin keeps getting back on top. Austin gets the Rock into a sharpshooter, a better sharpshooter. But the Rock powers up and gets the ring rope. Austin gets his title, but he misses the Rock. The Rock then gets Austin in a sharpshooter, the twisty leg thing. But Austin gets to the ropes. Rock pulls him back into the middle of the ring, but he fights back and gets to the ropes again. The Rock hits Austin with a stunner, but he can't get the pin quick enough, giving Austin a bit of time to recover. When he does finally get into the pin, Nick Patrick pulls out Earl Hebner from the ring, and he stops the pin because he's the WCW ref. The Rock... I put the Rock, but it's auto-corrected it here to the Rich. So I'm going to say the Rich goes for a rock bottom, but Austin stops it. Austin hits the Rock with a rock bottom. However, as he does, the Rock kicks out. Austin's angry now, and he knocks out Nick Patrick for not counting fast enough. Then he drags Earl Hebner back into the ring because it's going to be better with the WWF referee, apparently.
This is such your typical like attitude era
It is, isn't
booking.
it?
Like the corrupt referees and like Earl Hebner being involved in every single storyline under the sun.
Well, at Invasion a few months before this, we had a Nick Patrick versus Earl Hebner match.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Which is amazing.
Oh,
so The Rock reverses the stunner and he pushes Austin into Hebner, knocking him out too. Austin reverses the rock bottom into a stunner and goes to the pin, but there are no referees. Austin tries to revive Hebner and Angle comes down and betrays the alliance, hitting Austin with the title. What? Rock then hits the rock bottom. Hebner counts to 3 to give the win to WWF. Now the alliance are gone and WWF win.
Yay!
Go WWF.
Earl Hebner's slow count.
He just looks he's out of it. Give me your thoughts,
God.
everyone, because I'm just going to gush over this match, so I'll have everyone else's thoughts.
All right, I'll go first. Sorry. Yeah, this. I'm gonna say it now. For me, this has taken the top spot. This is a great match. Like, everyone was in the prime, or at least knew what they were doing, and was on point. Like, oh, I loved it. I love Shane breaking up the pins. I love The Rock just like, I'm gonna try and get away with this one, but just bitch slapping Shane in the corner afterwards. I love the fact that Shane eventually got his comeuppance with it all. Like, there was just so many beats to this match that made sense being in there. It wasn't just a little spot fest for everybody. It just, like, everything had a reason to be there. And I could watch the Rock and Stone Cold go at it all day. Like, them two are stellar together. Yeah, I'll let somebody else gush over the match.
I might as well talk next then, because I didn't know if everyone else was going to gush. I love this match. I honestly think we could review every Survivor Series match, and I can't see one coming to being as good as this. It had, like you said, it had everything. The storytelling throughout, so many different stories were being told, so many different people. It was exciting, it was dramatic. Even though we kind of knew who was coming out, because WWF weren't going to go out of business for WCW. It's how we got there, and the twists that came, the Angle turn, the Jericho turn. And then when it got down to 1 versus 1, we just got 10 minutes of a great Austin versus Rock match. And you can never complain about that. I just love this match. I thought it was incredible, and I honestly don't think there's a better Survivor Series match in the history. Go for
I
it.
completely agree. I know one thing, like you said before, it's like we look at the Attitude Era rose-tinted goggles, and while we do, that one like lived up to all the hype of the Attitude Era matches. Like you're saying, it's like it hits every point. Like, it had a bit of a finisher spot fest, get a couple of eliminations. So like hit every good spot that they could do, every great moment, like you said, all the betrayals and stuff on either side. I mean, it's a pristine that.
Go on then, Liam.
Oh, yeah, it was by far the best match that we've watched so far, and probably will be the best match that we're going to watch out of all the Survivor Series matches. It's the only Survivor Series match probably in history that actually has gravity for the match itself, and like something that can warrant a Survivor Series match, because I feel like a lot of these Survivor Series matches, they don't really warrant a 5v5 or a 5-on-5 match. It's like, but with this one, you needed to have an actual Survivor Series elimination match for it to make any sort of sense story-wise. I don't have the rose-tinted goggles for the Attitude Era because I'm a wee young sprout who started watching in like '04 during the rise of Thugonomics scene. So
Ruthless aggression.
yeah, the ruthless aggression era. But I can appreciate like just how good this match was, because everyone in the match was like in their prime, and you could see just how good they all were. This is clearly, I mean, I was talking to you about this earlier, Steve, but this is clearly the genesis of main event Y2J.
Yeah.
Like, he put on an absolutely incredible showing. And I think it was probably this match where they were like, "Do you know what? Actually, this guy deserves to be in the top spot with the rest of these main event talent."
It was 1 month after this that he went on to win the Undisputed Championship and beat The Rock and Austin in one night.
And Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Up in a hotel ordering pizza afterwards.
Yeah. Famous story.
Man, he's got such good books. Oh, I love Jericho's.
I loved his
I
books.
love Jericho's autobiographies. They're so good.
They were great books.
But yeah, it was just by far the best match like that I think we're probably ever gonna watch from Survivor Series.
Yeah,
it's just there's no other way of saying it, really. Everything about it was great. There's nothing to nitpick, I don't think. Nothing.
Before we go on, sorry.
Oh, go on, I'm finished.
Before we go on with this, Richard, if you're watching, what I want you to do is cut out the next part and put it in the middle of the video, because what we forgot from the first match was what would Meltzer do.
I didn't forget about that.
So we're gonna do
making life hard.
We're gonna do what would Meltzer do for the first match, and hopefully he cuts it out and puts it back. If not, it's all at the end of the video. So yeah, Alex, what would Meltzer do?
The first match.
Yeah.
I can't take a massive turd on it, can I? 2 stars.
2 star. Liam, what would Meltzer do?
Why, I'm gonna take a big steaming dump on it. Half a star.
Ooh, Jonny, what would Meltzer?
1 star. 1 star.
I was thinking 1. That's where I landed.
Surprisingly, Meltzer gave it a 2 3/4 star.
What?
Ooh.
Dave Meltzer, what were you smoking?
The other thing
I wonder if he's including the afterwards bit then.
Maybe, but there was one other Survivor Series match on the card, which was worse. It got 1.5 star.
What was that?
The match was, I was surprised this got 1.5 star when I saw who was in it. It was Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Perry Saturn versus Billy Gunn, Chyna, K-Quick, and Road Dogg.
Wow.
The talent in that match, and it got 1.5 star. Benoit, Guerrero, Malenko.
Do you know what? I think my sort of ambivalence towards Right to Censor is too strong, and that's why I only gave them 1 star. I think I need to be a bit more open-minded when it comes to RTC.
Maybe. But right, okay. So what we want to do now is we want MVP from this match. Richard, you don't cut this bit out. This is bits where we're supposed to be. Team Alliance versus Team W. I'm just gonna start making.
I've just got this image in my head of him like cutting in a clip of him, just going, no.
I'm just gonna start making requests in videos. Like put Shane McMahon here.
We told him to do so much stuff in this video. He's just gonna have a paddy and be like, no.
Oh, he said he likes it. He's learning from it.
Yeah.
Okay, match MVP for Alliance versus WWF. I'll go first this time. I'd give it to The Rock. He went with the whole match. He's impressive as usual. Great storytelling, great selling. It could have been anyone really, other than Big Show, and maybe not Shane either.
Hey, Shane played his role well.
Shane played his role really well, but I don't think he was as good as other people in this match. I'm gonna go for The Rock. I'm doing it. Go on then, Jonny. Who's your MVP?
I think I'm torn, but I'm probably gonna go Rock as well.
Okay.
Just because like the level of energy that he gave off, the the stellar end of the match. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rock as well.
Okay. Liam.
I think I'm gonna go with Y2J.
That's fair.
Just because of what I said before, like this was sort of his genesis.
Yeah,
so.
I could definitely see that. I can definitely agree with that. Alex?
I'm torn between The Rock and Taker.
Taker was great
Because I think,
well.
yeah, I think Taker did a lot in this match.
Kind of ran it for a bit, didn't he? I could say Stone Cold as well, though. He
you could say Austin.
Big sections.
Yeah.
It's a hard match to pick an MVP from because they're all so good.
Right. Well, The Rock's got the majority vote from you.
It's
going to
be The Rock, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Unless you go Y2J.
I'm gonna say Taker because that's my choice.
That's fair.
But I totally see where you're coming from with it could be anyone, and like The Rock is fully deserving of it. But Taker stood out for me.
Except for those sharpshooters and that spine buster. Come on, Rock, sort it out.
Yeah, but The Rock redeemed it when he was taking the mick out of Austin, giving the finger to the crowd before he hit the elbow.
Now, I normally don't interject with my own opinions, like I did on the last one I just edited, but I do want to say that my MVP was actually Paul Heyman on commentary. He did a quality job during this match of actually putting across the fact that he was going to lose his job. So, special shout out to Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to rank that Survivor Series match. We all know what the current standings are. Richard, go on, Liam. Are you saying first, or do you want to say something?
No, I'm saying first.
It's first for
That's
me
the only place it belongs.
First for me.
I think it's unanimous. Let's be honest.
First one.
Yeah.
For the record, Ainsley put this one first as well, and he put the other match in third. So he thought the DX versus RKO match was worse, even though he preferred that to the Rey Mysterio one. I don't know. It's all over the place. Right. Okay. So now I'm going to read it all out again. Richard, throw up the graphic. First, we've got Team WWF, which is The Rock, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show versus The Alliance, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and Shane McMahon at Survivor Series 2001. In second place, we have Rey Mysterio, The Usos, Cody Rhodes, and Goldust versus The Real Americans and The Shield from Survivor Series 2013. In third, we have Team DX of Matt Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels versus Team RKO, Mike Knox, Johnny Nitro, Gregory Helms, Edge, and Randy Orton. I nearly said Horton then. That's something else. That's something else. From Survivor Series 2006. And in fourth, we have Tim Hortons. Yeah, exactly. In fourth, we have Edge Christian, Bull Buchanan, and The Godfather versus Matt Jeff Hardy, Bubba Ray, and Devon Dudley from Survivor Series 2000. Okay, one more section before we get out of there. What would Meltzer do?
4.75.
Any takers? Any
4.25.
Anything from Alex?
4 on the dot, because I know he's definitely not given a 5-star in this era.
It was 4.5 stars.
Bang in the middle.
Right in the middle of you two. There were no other Survivor Series matches on this card, so nothing to compare it to. Although we did get the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys in a cage match. Just thought you should know that.
Who won, out of curiosity?
The Dudley Boys.
Dudley's won that one.
Yeah, they're the WCW tag. It was a unification of the WCW and WWF. There's also a unification of WCW United States and WWF Intercontinental, which Edge beat Test.
Is this the... No. Yeah, this is the pay-per-view where he talked earlier about Christian winning the European title and the Hardys, the Dudleys winning the tag titles, and
Test won a battle royale to gain immunity so he couldn't be fired. And Trish Stratus beat Ivory Jazz, Jacqueline Lita, and Mighty Molly. And also, William Regal defeated Tajiri.
Oh, well done, William.
Regal.
Anyway, that's our rankings. That's what we thought. What do you think? Let me know. Give us a comment.
Let us know.
down below. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Please don't call me a smooth brain.
Liam's a smooth brain.
Oh, damn it.